Talking about India's internal issues seems to be the flavour of the season. We've seen that from the Western press to neighbouring countries. Everyone has a lecture for India, and the reactions are not flattering. The same India that was on top of the narrative post Balakot and Article 370 now seems to be trying hard to explain its point. What should India's approach be then? On Wion Edit, we'll discuss that. First things first, it's important to expose the hypocrites. The OIC's quote-unquote concern about India's citizenship law and the Babri Masjid case falls in this category. Hypocrisy. The statement is questionable on two counts. They're wrong and they're motivated. Let me explain. Point number one, the comments on the citizenship law are factually incorrect. This law will not affect any existing citizen of India, including Muslims. And now the Prime Minister said that there will be no nationwide NRC. The citizenship law is in the courts. So statements about the safety of Muslims is just fear-mongering. As for Babri Masjid, India's top court has passed that order and the court has dismissed review petitions. The OIC is interfering in decisions taken by democratic institutions of India, the Parliament and the court. Point number two. The statement is driven by ulterior motives. Take, for instance, the comments of Mahathir Mohamad, the Prime Minister of Malaysia. He called the citizenship law regrettable and discriminatory. And that's not all. The Malaysian Prime Minister said, and I'm quoting again, there will be chaos, there will be instability, and everyone will suffer due to this law. What explains these remarks from a Prime Minister? The OIC and the Malaysia-led Islamic Front are competing with each other to take on India and to prove themselves the custodians of Muslims. They're just fishing in troubled waters. So what should India do then? Under Prime Minister Modi, India's ties with Saudi Arabia, the UAE and other Arab countries have flourished. He has been awarded the highest civilian honours of Saudi Arabia, the UAE and Bahrain. The Prime Minister flaunts his goodwill among these Muslim-majority countries. Trade ties have improved. Saudi Arabia is the second biggest supplier of oil for India after Iraq. Recently, India has signed a deal with Saudi Arabia for strategic oil reserves. But has India's goodwill been reciprocated? These statements don't show that. And this episode should serve as a reminder for India. The government should take notice of the nature of the foreign commentary on the citizenship law and the Ayodhya verdict. This entire episode could have been avoided, but inconsistency in official statements has not helped. The government is speaking in two voices, it seems, on the NRC. It's not helping its own case. India's ties with many OIC countries are at their historic best right now. The citizenship law should not erode them. The Indian government must be warned. Vested interests are trying to add a religious flavour to a complicated legislation. There is an attempt to brand India as a country where minorities feel threatened, and the government must be cautious too. It cannot be making mistakes that allow such vested parties to hijack the narrative. This should be India's mess to solve, not the OIC's, not Malaysia's, not the United Nations.